Welcome back to Breakfast with John Kay and Sally Nugent.
Good to have you with us. Our main story today is that the Education Secretary has written to head teachers saying all schools in England should be mobile phone free.
Bridget Phillipson says previous guidance did not deliver the clarity or consistency that schools need.
In a letter seen exclusively by BBC News, she writes, "This is a clear national reset on mobile phone use in schools and is calling on parents to back the policies too."
She also adds that all schools should be phone-free environments for the entire school day, including time between lessons, break times and lunchtime.
Well, we're joined now on the sofa by Esther Jai, whose daughter Brianna was killed by two teenagers who had been watching violent content online. Good morning to you, Esther. Thank you so much for coming in. Should we start with this letter to head teachers from the Education Secretary? When you hear her words, what are you thinking?
I really welcome this letter and I think it is a really great step in the right direction. But currently, I still don't believe that it does go far enough.
What's the gap? Where does it need to go?
So it's unclear at the moment whether this is going to include an out-of-sight policy. We know that at the moment 79% of secondary schools in England are operating an out-of-sight policy and that this doesn't work. I've heard from so many teachers, head teachers and students who are all saying that the out-of-sight policy doesn't work because children are still getting the phones out in classroom, texting under the table, taking pictures of each other, which amplifies bullying. So yeah, that is one of my main concerns. And also it's not statutory. So the other thing that I'm hearing from head teachers is that we need a statutory ban so that there's no pushback from parents. We have to do this. It comes from the government, and also funding as well. Head teachers need support for resources to actually implement this as well. So I think that's where it's lacking.
On that statutory part of it, in other words, you would like them actually to change the law to ban phones in schools, because at the moment this letter, although the words are very strong, it is guidance, isn't it? It's not a legal ban.
Yeah, that's right. And I think without a legal ban, we are at risk of having a postcode lottery as well. Like some schools in England might enforce it better than others. And I think that every single child in England deserves the right to be able to focus on education. And also, like, school isn't really a place for socialisation, but they will also socialise with peers properly at break times and lunch times if they're not staring at the phone screen. So yes, the postcode lottery issue of it really concerns me.
I had a head teacher on the programme earlier who was saying that very often pupils will want to be able to contact home during the day. Home will want to be able to check on pupils. How do you break that relatively new habit?
Do you know, going back to when I was in school, if there was an issue, then the parent would contact the office and the office would contact the child. And same, if there was an issue with the child, they would go to the office. I think that having this constant connection with parents is resulting in a lack of resilience in children. It's not building the confidence, it's not building their ability to speak to adults. And yeah, I was speaking to a teacher actually only last week around issues in school and the issues around phones, and they have an out-of-sight policy. And she said that just that week there was 10 incidents around phone use, and one of them was a child FaceTiming the parent in class when they were in trouble. And this parent, I can't actually say the words that she said to me on Breakfast TV, but yeah, it was really, really terrible, and I just don't think that teachers should not be dealing with this. They're in school to teach, not to firefight against mobile phones.
You know only too well about issues around mental health and young people today, and it's something that you're campaigning on all the time. What would you say to a parent, grandparent watching right now who has waved goodbye to a child who's going to school, who is really struggling at the moment, and who might feel a need to be able to contact that child or feel that the child could contact them during the school day? Because it's hard, isn't it, to say no contact?
I completely understand, and as a parent of a child who really struggled with the mental health, I would say let our children live in the real world, and yeah, let's really not push them or force them, but let's encourage them to actually go to school and focus on their education, and let's put our trust back in teachers again, because that's what teachers are there to safeguard, to protect, and to ensure that our children grow up to be well-rounded individuals. And I think that we need to put that trust into teachers again.
And Esther, I know you have very clear ideas about how this might work. Can you talk us through what would happen to a child who's going to school, maybe walking to school or getting the bus with a phone? What happens when they get to school?
So the head teacher at Brianna's Brianna School, Birchwood Community High School, she has brought in lockable pouches. Sorry. So the children walk to school with the phones. They get to school, they put the phone inside the case, it locks, and they don't have access to it throughout the school day. Then at the end of the day, they open it on like a magnetic device, and they've got the phone available to be tracked or to get on the school bus or anything that they need. There are some schools in the south of England that have brought in brick phone policies as well, which have also shown really great results. But I think that the main thing is that children don't have phones during the school day. The results from Birchwood Community High School have been amazing. So GCSE results have improved. Safeguarding incidents around phone use have dropped by 83%. Staff wellbeing has improved, and in this current climate with staff retention in schools, this is something that is absolutely brilliant, and yeah, I really think we all need this.
At the same time, there's a debate going on in Parliament right now about banning children from social media at all times, not just during the school day, but not letting under 16s have social media apps on their phones. It feels like the UK is heading towards an Australian system in some shape or form. Is that how you read it?
Yes, and I think there's been such a movement last week, and it feels like it's all happening all at once. I would support a social media ban for under 16s, and I would go as far to say that I wouldn't actually call it a ban, I would call it a liberation, because we know that children are spending 35 hours a day, 35 hours a week, on phones, which is the equivalent of a full-time job. The way that social media companies work, it's an attention economy, so it's basically child slave labour. So let's release our children from social media, get them to live in the real world, develop as brilliant individuals and contribute to society in the long run.
Esther, thank you so much for coming in. It's great to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.